Which is the cultivar of Dahongpao? The question is fairly easy, but the answer is not. Let's have a look at it together. Hi guys, this is Gabriele from nannuoshan, where we share the pleasure of drinking and discovering genuine farm tea. If you're new here in our channel and you're also looking to expand your tea knowledge and brewing skills, then make sure to click on the subscribe button. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up if at any point of time you enjoy watching. Today I'm going to speak once again about the cultivar of Wuyi rock tea. I've done already a few videos on the topic. There was a series about the geography of Wuyi rock tea, in which in the first video I explained which are the common understanding about the geography of Wuyi rock tea, what is authentic rock tea, what is not, and then in a follow-up video I told you everything that of that video is not true and actually what is the real information about the geography of Wuyi rock tea, which is the truth about the geography of Wuyi rock tea. Most recently there was also a video, a Chinese lexicon video, in which I explain the different cultivars with which Wuyi rock tea is made, and is about the cultivar that I want to speak today, but more specifically about the cultivar of Dahongpao, the most famous of them all. Together with a friend, Benjamin, who is I would say a Chinese culture expert in general, but also with a passion for tea, and he also speaks Mandarin, so he helped me a little bit in this research and also stimulated me actually. Sorry, it's a little bit loud because I'm outside today. Anyway, we did some deepening about the topic, and in fact the cultivar of Dahongpao is a topic that was already addressed by the guys of the Depository, and I really suggest you to go and have a look at that video, which is very useful. And today I want to deepen a little bit further. There will be a certain level of overlapping with their video, and I want to add also some information about that. So first of all, what happened? If you go to Wuyi and you visit the protected area, you cannot miss them. You cannot miss the 6 mother trees of Dahongpao. It's a tourist destination. Thousands of people every year go to Wuyi just to see them, and basically you cannot really get very close to them, but you see on a cliff there are 4 bushes that are close to each other, and then there are 2 additional bushes a little bit farther down. In the cliff there is a red writing that is read from right to left that says Dahongpao. Those are the famous mother trees. Now the mother trees 1, 2 and 3, because these trees have numbers, they are numbered from left to right when you look at the cliff. Then 1, 2 and 3 are very old actually. It is said they are about 350, 380 years old, so many centuries old. The tree number 4 was also planted long ago, but apparently, arguably, a little bit later than the first 3. So there are records that say that originally there were only 3 plants. Much more in modern era, actually just 40 years ago, in the early 80s, the plant number 5 and 6 were planted, and actually number 5 is a clone of number 1. It was created by cuttings of number 1, which means nothing else than taking a piece of the tree, plant it and let it becoming another tree. And the mother tree number 6 is actually a clone of mother tree number 2. So the clones have, since it is an asexual propagation if you want, then the clones have exactly the same genetic material as the mother tree. So out of these 6 trees there are actually 4 different varietals. Now, in 2006, it was forbidden to, after 2006, it was forbidden to pick the leaves of these trees. They became protected, and in fact, the last time they were picked, it was on May 3rd, 2005, and the last 20 grams of that batch are today stored in a museum in Beijing. Ever since, there has not been, a very authentic and original Dahongpao out of the 6 trees. And anyway, even at that time, that tea was fairly expensive. There was also an auction in, well, there were several over the past years, but one in 2005 where 20 grams of one of the last batches from the 6 bushes was sold for more than 200,000 yuan, which is about 25,000-30,000 US dollar of that time. So quite a lot of money for just 20 grams of tea. Today you cannot have it anymore anyway. So now let's come to the point. If we say there are 4 varietals, which are those varietals? Have people made cultivars out of that? So propagated those 3 into many other bushes so that you can make basically today a Dahongpao from other trees, but trees that are actually genetically very similar to the mother trees? Well, is a question that is not so easy to answer, and the guys from the tea repository that I mentioned before already started answering the question. There was a study done in 2009 that they mentioned that it shows you that actually 2 of those plants, the number 2 and the number 6, that we say are also one the clone of the other, are actually very close to Chidan, which is a cultivar, and also to what they called the first generation mother tree, so cuttings that were taken from the mother trees. And I will go a little bit more into detail into that, because actually there is one person that has done a lot for the protection of the cultivar of Wuyi that is called Luo Shengcai. Now Luo Shengcai have been creating a garden, and in this garden he have cultivated many plants of many different cultivars. So every time he was finding an interesting cultivar in Wuyi, he was planting in his garden several plants and he was protecting them. So today there is this garden, and there are actually also other gardens. I think he have created 3 different gardens over the years for the protection of the cultivars of Wuyi. And the very first garden, it is actually in Jiulong, which is the gorge in which you still find today the mother trees. So in that gorge you have also this tea garden where you have a wooden sign at the start of each row of cultivar, and I was there some years ago and I took some picture, and also I take some leaves and take picture of the leaves. I don't know if I was really allowed to take those leaves, but so I did. And it was very interesting because there was also the cultivar Dahongpao actually. So what happens? It happens that these gentleman, Luo Shengcai, actually happened that wrote also a book. So he did not only planted the trees in this garden that is called Jiulong Ming Yuan, which means Jiulong is the name of the gorge, and then Ming, some of you know if you have followed my Chinese lexicon video, means famous bush, and Yuan means garden. So it's the garden of the famous bushes in Jiulong. And in addition to that, later on, he has also written a book about the cultivar of Wuyi. That book is called Wuyi Ming Lu, which means the records of the famous bushes of Wuyi rock tea, and it records many different, a long list of many different cultivars, and among them also the cultivar Dahongpao that you can find in his garden is mentioned. And it is said that this Dahongpao cultivar was made with cuttings, with clones from the plant, the mother trees number 2 and number 6, once again. So you see that actually the cultivar Chidan and the cultivar Dahongpao, they were both made by the cuttings from the mother trees number 2 and number 6. And now it starts to be a little bit of an overlapping. I mean, do we have really 2 cultivars that were made out of cuttings out of the same trees? Shouldn't be the same cultivar. So this question was followed up by Benjamin and myself, and actually what we found out is today people do not speak about the Dahongpao cultivar. I've asked a few of our farmers, they don't know it. So, but in this book it is written there is a Dahongpao cultivar, and if you search in the book you will not find Chidan. So at the time the book was written, apparently the cultivar was called Dahongpao, and then over the years people established an informal new name that is Chidan, that is simply a new way of naming the same cultivar. So when you buy Chidan, it is a cultivar that was derived from mother tree number 2, and number 6. Well, what about the other trees? What we know is also that another cultivar was derived from cuttings of the mother tree number 1, and it is Cheshe. Now, Cheshe is another relatively famous cultivar in Wuyi, and if you buy a Dahongpao made from Cheshe, actually has a very similar genetic material to the mother tree number 1. Of course, you know, mutation occurs over time, and in plants, of course, even more often than human, so that from the time you do the cuttings, both trees then continue to develop a little bit, and they are not exactly the same. But nonetheless, now you know that actually Chedan, cultivar Dahongpao, if you can still find it, and the cultivar Cheshe can still be called kind of authentic Dahongpao, because they are made of leaves which have a genetic material that is similar to let's say 2 of the 4 varietals that are among the mother trees. Now, what about Beidou? Beidou is often also mentioned as being an authentic rock tip. Sorry, it's loud again. And we did some research there, and apparently it seems it's not the case. The study that was made by the Fujian Agricultural University in 2009 showed that none of the 6 mother trees have genetic material that is related with the cultivar Beidou. And actually, it seems that another famous person that also made a lot of research in Wuyi back in the days promoted this story that Beidou was made from cuttings of the mother trees, but as of today, after this research has been done with laboratory tests, it has been shown that actually Beidou is not related to the mother trees. It could be that it has a taste that is similar to those of the mother trees, who knows, but it's not related. What does it mean? It means that if you want to go for authentic Dahongpao, then you have to search for Cheshe, Chedan, or for Dahongpao cultivar, and be aware that the word Dahongpao is often used as a synonym of Wuyi. Very, very common in China. You go in a shop, you buy Dahongpao, and what they mean is actually Wuyi of an unknown cultivar, basically. So you have to be very careful when you source your Dahongpao to make sure that it is at least from one of these 3 cultivars. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this information was useful to you. Now we are collecting quite a few videos about Wuyi and cultivars. I hope you like the topic, and I will see you soon in the next video. Bye guys, don't forget to subscribe our channel and to give us a thumbs up.